Briefing note. This is a transcript of a preserved journal in the possession of Prisoner 01, and is considered important evidence in the events of October 25th. Details discussed in this journal may disclose classified information, and reader's discretion is highly advised. Entry 1. Hello me, how was your day?
This is messed up. I'm so scared. I have no idea where I am. I think someone's watching me. Who am I? Where am I? What in blazes is this place? Am I being kidnapped or something?
Indecipherable gibberish.
Okay, I'd better calm down and explain my predicament. I think I'm having trouble remembering words. Who knows? Maybe I'll find some clues by writing everything in this notebook. I hope. I pray. I don't know what's been going on or who in the world I am, but I'm trapped here. I don't know how long this train has been going, but it feels like it's been going for a while. That really unsettles me. It makes me want to pound on the walls and the windows. 1 minute, I was sleeping in complete darkness. My dreams, if I recall, were troubling. Dreams of flaming gusts of wind, screaming in the distance, and an endless red surrounding my vision. I was lashing my arms out, trying to escape the enveloping mass before it consumed me. Next, I woke up on a bed I'd never been in before. At first, I thought I was in a room shaking from a small earthquake. And then I opened an eye and realized, an earthquake? Where am I? And jolted awake from my sleep. I'm inside what looks like a passenger rail car. What's the word? Refurbished into a bedroom or something. There's a toilet, sink, and open shower opposite of the corner bed. A seat and desk nailed to the floor on one end of the hall with a military clock, I think, embedded into the metal. There's also a closet full of clothes, the same kind as I'm wearing. Blank t-shirt and shorts, and a washer and dryer fastened to the wall. I can't see a single thing on the other side of the glass windows. Everything is bathed afoot in complete darkness outside. I can't remember a single thing about my life. That's the one thing... Oh, my hands. My fingers are trembling. I don't know who I am, my name, parents, where I'm from, or even how I got here. Every chance for me to remember leads to a burning headache in my temples. It makes me feel like my head is being pierced by a red-hot poker. But I'm not ignorant. I know what I am. I'm a man that's probably in his late 30s or early 40s. I'm about 6.5 feet tall with muscles in my arms. I know about countries, certain locations, people, what leaves look like in autumn, running through a snowstorm, the mild burn someone can get during summer from the sun, children running down an empty suburban road, carrying sparklers in their hands to light the way. Are they memories of my past? I've been awake for hours, and I've spent that time blurring in and out of blackouts, trying to find a way out with no success. I'm writing this down in an empty blank notebook placed on the dresser bolted beside my bed. At the end of the rail car is a locked door. I searched everywhere, but I can't find a key for it. I don't even think it can be opened from my side. My attempts at calling for help, my loud knocks on the metal came on deaf ears, though I banged on them as hard as I could. Whatever the reason I'm here, wherever this train is going, something put this notebook here for me along with a pen. From the, "Hello me, how was your day?" phrase placed every 3 or 4 pages. Part of me thinks they want me writing in this thing. I know it. I'll keep writing everything I can in here, my thoughts, the things I see, what I can find. Hopefully, this is nothing more than a very detailed dream. It has to be, right?
Entry 2. Hello me, how was your day?
It is not a dream. I couldn't sleep for hours. The noises from the train car muddle my train of thought, no pun intended, and the lights illuminating my small room flicker brightly above my mattress, denying me dreams and sleep. The whoosh of air outside is making my skin crawl, and it's so cold in the bed. Even my blanket feels like cardboard. Was I a hobo or something? After many hours, I managed to pass out and fall asleep for several hours, according to the clock. I'd hoped to reappear in my original life, and that the memories would flood back. I'd be in a more spacious bed, wearing more comfortable pajamas, in a house I knew, and faces I remembered. Sadly, I opened my eyes again to the sordid rail car, and I still can't remember who I am or why I'm here. I hope I remember things soon. The more I dig deep, the more I want to bang my forehead against the glass separating me from the outside world. For what felt like the entire day, I shouted as loud as I could for someone, anyone, to get me out. I knocked and knocked and knocked at the door until my knuckles bruised. I pounded at the windows for what felt like minutes or even hours. They have to be reinforced. I'm so hungry. I don't think I've eaten in days. And not once have I felt the train stop or even slow down for any incoming station. Wherever I'm going, it must be far, very far away. I mean, a train car can't. It shouldn't go on forever, right? I think I'm going to sleep again now, and hope I get more answers than I have questions.
Entry 3. Hello me, how was your day?
There's food here. I'm not alone. Nothing has made me happier for all that I can remember, which isn't saying much, as I don't remember much at all. On the car end of the rail car, there's a large metal cupboard beside a locked door. 12 hours of the day, it's sealed tight. Each time I hear something shift and tick behind its unassuming doors, a plate of warm food is there resting for me to eat. There are no utensils, but the tasteless gray mush is edible. I tried opening the door after I grabbed the plate, but for some reason it's always locked, or stuck. Whatever this is, my captors at least want me to stay alive. I guess whoever I am, they don't want me to starve. Maybe that's what I am. Maybe this is some sick new reality show to boost ratings on some network. Let's kidnap a random guy off the street, hit him on the head, and give him amnesia, and watch him survive in a train car for days on end, the commercials would say. Goodness, when was the last time I watched a commercial? Even a TV? Figments of my memory are returning, though. I was about to sleep when I looked out the window, and a familiar face flashed in the glass. It must have been my imagination, but it triggered something. In the memory, I was standing in a lavish bedroom alongside a beautiful woman who I held in my arms. Her face, if I remember correctly, was olive-skinned, and her hair trailed as long as her hips. What is her name? From the way she was smiling and trembling in my arms, all I know is that she must have meant greatly to me, and I to her. We were dancing to some kind of classical music on a stereo. I was holding onto her hip and she made a noise, when suddenly, flashes of light danced all over us. A pair of arms pushed me to the ground, and that's all I can remember. I tried mentally clawing for the memory as it sank away, wanting it to continue and reveal my captors. Unfortunately, it vanished once more into the dark recesses of my mind. As of now, I'm left shaking uncontrollably on the bed of my cell, wondering if the woman was a friend of mine. Maybe she was my girlfriend or my wife. Is she alive? Why am I here? What did I do? Why can't I remember a single thing about myself? At first, I assumed I got into some kind of accident or something, and lost my memory that way, but I can't find any scars when I'm in the shower. I don't have any cuts, head scars, stitches, or even bruises I can find. I'm totally healthy and whole. It's like I've been plucked from existence and thrown in here. What is my name? I just wish I knew what my name was. Even that would be a mercy, something I could hold to.
Entry 4. Hello me, how was your day?
It's been about 4 days, I think, since my last entry. I've been too invested in trying to find a way out to write in this. I know the panels above the railcar windows say, "Don't escape," and all of that, but I want to get out! I'm sorry. Let me continue. Food keeps appearing inside the cupboard, but it's always crap I can barely eat. My ears have become sharpened to the point I can pick out that shuffling noise from inside the cupboard from anywhere in the car. At one point, I thought I could make out a voice synchronized into the screeching of the railcar, only for it to blend in and disappear. Each time it's happened, I try pulling at the doors and yanking with all my strength, to no avail. Instead, the cabinet unlocks and the tasteless food is there. It's always there at 12 o'clock, whether that be in the morning or in the middle of the day, if you can even call it day. Day and night are non-existent here. All I have is the lighting embedded in the ceiling of the car, along with the rushing darkness passing by outside the windows. In my boredom, I sometimes try imagining where this train is taking me. A sleazy small town run by the mob? A gulag in northern Siberia? Maybe this is just a regular passenger train en route across the Eurasian continent, and I'm just a mentally unstable passenger off his medication. Am I being consoled by my lover or traveling companion to find my way? I don't know. I want to know, though. I need to know. I'm begging God, Allah, Zeus, or whoever else is out there. Please, help me know. I'm so scared. I just want to see another face.
Entry 5. Hello me. How was your day?
I remember something. I better write this down. I'm in a very large, towering metropolis full of skyscrapers. It's sometime around midday, and the streets are filled to the brim with many people. It had to be hundreds, no, thousands of them in the crowd below, celebrating either New Year's or Thanksgiving. I couldn't see enough to tell which. I'm standing up on a small balcony or rooftop garden, looking down on the events happening. The sun is hidden by gloomy clouds, and I'm gazing out onto the open street, listening to the music being played. Suddenly, screams echoed below, but they weren't the kind of screams you'd hear at a large event. They didn't echo excitement, but terror. Absolute terror. I tried looking down at the chaos and the memory, hoping to catch a glimpse of what was truly going on, but a hand pulled me away from the balcony into what looked like a hotel suite. The owner of the rough hand ignored the horrified shrieks of hundreds now fully orchestrating below, and that's all. That is all their freaking was. Again, I tried clawing and bashing my head into the pillow for more, but I couldn't reach it in time to see any more. It's just so frustrating. Instead of getting answers, I'm left with more questions that become useless to ask each time, since I'm the only one I can ask them to. What was happening in that memory? Was I a spectator during that event, enjoying the festivities from afar when some disaster happened? Did someone get hurt down there? Oh, I hope not. One other thing boggles me. Who pulled me away from the balcony? And why? Didn't they hear those screams? I mean, despite the fact I had no idea who I was or how I was brought up, even I can tell the difference between a scream of excitement, like when you're about to see your favorite musician or actor perform on a stage, and a scream of fright, like when you're about to die. Couldn't they hear it over all the music? Over the wind? Did the hand belong to one of my kidnappers? Whatever it is, I'm going to try to keep myself together. If I do have a life outside of this endless train, I won't be able to escape if I only use half of my brain. I have to escape. No. I will escape. Not today, not tomorrow, but I will escape. I will.
Entry 6. Hello me. How was your day?
It's been a while since I wrote in here. It's been about a week of complete nothingness. As always, I've searched up and down this railcar for any hints of how to get out, but I can't find anything. The floors aren't paneled, the windows are as tight as Alcatraz prison, and the door is locked like a 2-ton safe. There's no way I'm getting out that way. I've tried keeping myself from losing my sense of self by making tally marks on the cover of my notebook. As of now, for about 19 days. At least, I think so. Without a calendar or an AM/PM alarm in my clock, night and day are meaningless in my non-stop prison cell. Whoever I am, my captors don't care anything about my mental well-being or keeping me entertained, that's for sure. Wake up, wait until 12 o'clock to have one meal a day, spend a few hours staring into space at the ceiling, out the murky window into oblivion, then spend a few hours lounging around the car wash clothes while shivering in the cold bed, showering under equally cold water, and fall asleep. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. No other memories have reappeared.
Entry 7. Hello me, how was your day?
Another several days of nothingness. The food now tastes warmer, with hints of protein that might be chicken, so I guess you can call that progress. My thoughts still turn to that memory on the balcony. I also still wonder about that, and the one involving my wife, or my girlfriend. Did I do something that warranted my kidnappers to take me away from her? A jealous ex-lover? A wealthy parent who disapproved and pulled connections to make her lover disappear? Did I do something that warranted my kidnappers to take me away from her? If it weren't for the recently unearthed memories involving the screams and the rooftop balcony, I'd be more fully inclined to believe the latter. What else happened this week? Well, I counted all the way to 500 before I made it to 1,000. Then I went to 2,000, then 10,000, followed by 20,000 and 100,001. A day before yesterday, I tried going to a whole million, but I lost count a third of the way through and then fell asleep. I cannot tell you how much I miss the voices of people, to hear their conversations spoken aloud. Even though I don't fully remember anything, only bits and pieces of inconsistent fragments, I still know I miss hearing voices in conversations, on television, YouTube videos, breaking news broadcasts. In here, all I have is the sound of screeching metal underneath and around my tomb.
Entry 8. Hello me, how was your day?
Thank goodness they didn't confiscate this. Bad news, I'm still trapped here. Good news, I met other living people. Half asleep and lying in bed, I heard a loud noise as my half-open eyes saw the locked door open, leading to a narrow, left-sided corridor of stairs. Without waiting, I tried running for it and hoped to find another human face. Maybe I could have found someone on this train and figure out where I was going. Maybe even who I was, or am. Not 2 feet from the door, though, I was pushed onto my stomach by a blunt force and held down by 2 armored men wearing black baklavas and sunglasses. In my heightened terror, they pushed their knees into my legs and held both my arms to my lower back. As I tried struggling free, I could see through the reflections of the glass windows 2 more armored guards pointing shotguns at me, and a mysterious man walked in. Before I could get a good look at him, one of the men holding me down shoved my face to the floor as footsteps approached me.
Do you know who you are?
He asked, carrying a noticeable English accent. Still terrified for my safety, I hesitated to speak. When I didn't reply, I immediately felt the barrels of their guns jab into my sides. He ordered me to answer the question, this time in a more serious, venomous tone. No, I wavered. The uniformed Englishman spent the next 15 minutes or so asking me questions. If I was aware of certain dates. November 5th, 2005, July 4th, 2009, July 27th, 2017. Out of the dozens of random dates and times, I didn't know crap about any of them. This seemed to agitate the Englishman even more, especially when he asked me about one particular date.
Are you aware of any significant events that happened on October 25th, 2019?
I tried digging deep into my knowledge of current events. I knew about September 11th, about America's president, world politics, recent celebrity deaths, scientific achievements, and how a smartphone app worked. But beyond that, nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about, I murmured. Unexpectedly, the half-stoic Englishman's voice seethed with anger.
Are you aware of any significant events that happened on that date?
I pleaded with him and told him I didn't know, but he didn't stop asking me over and over. Eventually, on the 4th time, he must have pounded the wall with a loud bang.
You're lying. It doesn't matter how clouded your mind is.
The man knelt down and growled into my shaking ear.
No man on this planet forgot what happened on that day. I don't care what is going on in that muddled mind of yours. Nobody is ever forgetting what happened on October 25th, not after.
He paused mid-sentence, and I was left a trembling, sobbing mess on the cold, shifting floor of the railcar. After what felt like minutes of restraint, me with the guards holding me down, and my interviewer still kneeling beside me, the Englishman cleared his throat and walked up to my journal on the desk. I almost objected to him reading what I had been writing in there, but the last thing I needed was to give these animals an excuse to blast me in half with their shotguns. Trigger-happy apes. Instead, I kept still and listened to the Englishman flipping through the pages, sometimes with hitched breaths, and without any sound at all. Suddenly, he placed it back on the desk and walked back to me with his shoes up to my smushed nose. He asked,
"Have you ever heard of the phrase, 'We pay dearly for immortality. We die for it more than once during our lifetimes'?"
In response, I shook my head. After a long moment of pacing around my car, the Englishman replied,
"Very good. Keep writing."
The guard must have butted me in the back of the head with his gun, because I awoke the very next morning and have done nothing but write this down since, trying to remember every single detail about what happened. All I know is, there's more to this train than I thought there was. Who is the Englishman? What did he mean by all those dates? Especially October 25th. What in the world happened on that day? The more I think about it, the more I can hear his screams in my ringing ears. I better stop writing soon. I'm running out of room. I'll write again tomorrow.
Entry 9. Hello me, how was your day?
I know it's only been 12 or 13 hours since I slept, but I have to write this down. There are faces looking at me in the windows. I swear by all things holy, I'm seeing faces in the windows. I was sleeping in bed, paper-thin blanket only partially covering my body, when my eye caught something glowing reflect off the floor. I looked and realized it was a reflection. I looked, and filling up the right-sided windows of the railcar were faces. Faces of many people. I didn't know them from Adam. When I stood and tried getting closer, two things happened. First, the faces changed. It wasn't my imagination. The faces changed into different people, and they've been doing that for every 20 seconds or so for a long time. Even as I'm writing this now, none of them have appeared as the same person twice. Each of them is a different race, gender, nationality, weight, and captioned name from all the others. All of them are becoming too blurry to remember or recognize. Are they ghosts? Are they here to haunt me? What's keeping them outside? Second, on the left-sided windows of the car is something else entirely. 5 minutes after I woke up, videos of horrible things began playing in the glass panes. As I'm writing this, there's some footage playing back of a group of African men and children being slaughtered by what looks like a militia. It hasn't just been that, though. Pictures and videos of revolting crime scenes have been endlessly looping back and forth, like this endless train track I'm on. War zones, massacres, bombing, bashed and gutted corpses from murder scenes, and so many other vile, disgusting things. It makes me want to vomit. I have nothing else to say, but I will write more next time.